If you've just clicked onto this video and you're wondering, why is Claire wearing a hat? It's because, not because I'm really cool, because I have just got back from a dog walk and it's a beautiful, beautiful day and I get melasma on my face quite badly and I would have taken the hat off. However, my hair looks awful now, so the hat is staying on. Also, melasma is, I don't know what the technical description for it is, but basically it's just where you get very dark patches of skin that go very dark compared to the rest of your face. Yeah, hence the hat. But hello, how are you all doing? As you can probably tell, this is a fairly spontaneous video. This is not one that I've planned, but I was just about to sit down and kind of have a cup of tea and I was like, you know what, I really want to do some planty things. And I quite enjoy a spontaneous film from time to time. I do quite enjoy just going into things with no plan and just seeing how things go. And I say I've got a lot to get through today. I actually don't. It's weird, you know, I'm like scarily on top at the moment, which doesn't happen all that often. As you can probably tell, the steps are here. I was going to just do some watering and stuff, but I have got a few little things here and there that I know I do need to get on top of. I've also got a new grow light as well. So I've got a few kind of like, I guess, more fun things to play around with today. So yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of everything. But first, if you're new here, hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learnt over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. And yes, as I say, no plan as such, but there's always things to be done. And I feel like today will probably be more of the well, not that repotting stuff isn't enjoyable, but maybe I don't know what I'm saying. Let's get into it. So I will stop moving around with the camera in just one moment because I'm aware it does get very jiggly and my gimbal's still not working, so I cannot do that yet. But I'm going to start with just making a coffee because I think I need one and I haven't actually had one yet today, which is unheard of for me. Oh, also I've got these sat here, which are, I'll put the name on the screen, but they're Supervium or something like that. Let's just wait for that to do its thing. Yeah, they are, as I say, I'll put the name on the screen because I can't remember exactly what they're called, but this is the lovely plant that Ross got me from, I think just from Waitrose or something, when I wasn't feeling very well. He got it to cheer me up, and it had loads of these little ones in the pot with it, and then it had a big kind of mother one in the middle. And I haven't done much with it apart from I watered it once. It was quite dry. And the middle one had started to rot and I could not save it. I just discovered it the other day and I was like, oh no. So I have divided these little babies and I think maybe I'll pot them up today. Some of you guys were saying that these actually typically are not grown as houseplants. They do much better in an outdoor environment. And apparently they grow pretty well in the UK as well, which I was really surprised about because you look at them and they look like, I don't know, they almost look like desert succulents, and I think I'm probably very wrong about that. I would imagine them to not be able to tolerate very low temperatures, but yeah, we will see. And then another one that I've got here, and this one has been sat here, in fact I'm going to give it a drink, but this one has been sat here for ages and ages. This is my Hoya Ake Splash, I think it is. And this one actually that I am going to be getting rid of. I know I've said it in videos before and I've just kind of shoved it to one side of the room and I've been like, that will come with me to the next plant swap. And there hasn't been a plant swap that I've attended in a while. So although it's lovely, it's just one that I haven't been particularly enjoying growing. And I know it's quite deemed quite an unusual one. I'm sure it would make somebody else happier. And also, it's very, as always, it's very messy in here at the moment, but I need to have a proper sort out. My God, I've actually got stuff everywhere. But I did have a bit of a sort out of my shelves this morning, and although actually now the sun's come up, I woke up very early this morning, but now the sun's come up, you can see quite a lot of soil and stuff on them. I will put, if you can't see well enough there, I will put a clip in so you can see, because I was just going through everything and I was like, everything is looking really good at the moment. Like everything's looking very healthy. Although I've had a few pesty things here and there, like my big bird of paradise had spider mites very recently, and I'm just going through and wiping that one down pretty much every day because it's impossible to isolate. Apart from that one, on the whole, I hope I'm not jinxing things, but on the whole, things have been doing pretty well, which is a really lovely feeling. My cabinet as well, in the middle there, my Alocasia Platinum. Can you see the size of that new leaf it's just given me? Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, as I say, I'm on the whole feeling really quite on top of and positive about plant things at the moment, which, well, is really lovely. I don't do well when I'm running out of things to do. I'm kind of looking around and I'm like, shall I water again? And I know that's dangerous territory. So I think what I probably will start with today is, as I say, I have got a new grow light that I haven't even unboxed yet. So maybe we could do a little bit of a grow light unboxing, and then obviously, because I've got the scaffolding at the moment, although you can't really tell today, the lights are on, but it does just, oh, in fact, it looks really bright on camera, but it does take away quite a lot of the natural light from this room. Yeah, the scaffold actually might be coming down, very long story, but I've been wanting to introduce some more grow lights, potentially to the area just behind the sofa here. I've had a few thoughts, but this is a new type of grow light, so I will bring it through and we can take a look at it. So, let me just get into the actual box, because as I say, I haven't opened it yet, but I don't know, is a grow light unboxing exciting? This is what the box looks like. You will notice, and maybe this is exciting, that it is a little bit longer than the boxes that I typically get. This is a mother grow light, but this is one of their new types of grow lights, which I am very excited about. They very kindly sent this to me for free, so thank you so much, Mother. I always find it really weird when I say thank you so much, Mother. It sounds like I'm talking about my own mother. But yeah, I've been really, really excited to try this out. And I think this is a white one as well, which is really cool. And I was particularly interested to try this one because I think I'm right in saying this has been developed in a slightly different way to the ones such as their grow bars like this, which again, I really love. I've got loads of mother grow lights. I think they are amazing. But I was just having a look at what it said on the back of the box here. I won't actually read you the entire thing of what it says, but basically it talks about sunrise and sunset and how that is known as the circadian rhythm. And it says, we developed an almost identical light recipe that changes over the day, optimized for energy consumption and ease of use. Which is really interesting. And one thing I remember reading about this light as well, again, as I say, I'll put some more information on the screen, but this actually almost acts a little bit like a happy lamp for us humans. So yeah, it's something that I'm very, very intrigued about. And I've also just seen that you can dim it as well, which is such a good feature of a grow light, because none of my grow lights currently are dimmable, and sometimes when it gets to the evening, I don't know about you guys, I don't have any lamps in my flat. I use grow lights as my lamps. I often think it'd be quite nice to be able to dim them a little bit, so how exciting. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Look at that. This honestly is the thing that I love about Mother's grow lights in general. They just are almost not there. Even the black ones, and obviously you'll be able to tell that my aesthetic typically is more white than black. But yeah, they're just so sleek and minimal, and they just highlight the plants whilst not highlighting themselves as a light, if that makes sense. So what I am thinking with this, as I say, one of the options would be to have it hanging down, targeting the plants at the back of my sofa area. I'm not sure I've got enough wire here to be able to do that today, because I would have to, I mean, that would be like a ridiculously long wire running, because I'd have to go all the way along the pole. I don't think that's potentially realistic, but if I like this light and I get on well with it, I could always get another one. The other option that I was thinking actually, and again, because this is quite neutral, I don't think you really notice it, is having it down here. I really have not set up well for this video today, but having it down here on this surface, targeting the plants that are underneath by the telly. I don't know. I mean, obviously that would then be the light in front of them. As in like from a lower angle. And I'm not sure if that would make them grow weirdly or not. I also don't know how hot this gets. So it's probably worth actually doing a little test first and seeing how it gets on. There is also, by the looks of it, a base here as well. So I could also do an upright grow light setup. Oh, the options. The options. What should we do? Okay, let me plug it in, test the heat, and have a think. Moment of truth. Oh, wow. Oh. Okay, what have I done? Oh, okay. I don't know what happened before, but I think it's working now. And oh my goodness, that provides the most beautiful natural light. You know what I mean? You'd almost not know. I know it's like literally right in the middle of the room at the moment, but you'd almost not know it was there. That's stunning. So, like I say, I would like to potentially set it up below the TV. And I am just going to leave it on for maybe like 10 minutes or so, just to see how hot. I mean, currently there's no heat at all. And to be honest, even the ones in my cabinet aren't ridiculously warm. But I would be putting it... Oh, that would look lovely, wouldn't it? That would look gorgeous. Yeah, I would be putting it there. Oh my God. I can see all the detail on my plants. It's like I've put glasses on. Okay, let's give that 10 minutes and then we can come back to it. Okay, so I have just Googled what kind of soil mix the, I want to say Sempervium, what this type of plant likes. And what came up was something with not a lot of nutrients, which makes me, it kind of reminds me of a carnivorous plant, but I don't think this is. Not a lot of nutrients and a lot of good drainage, and especially because I do plan on growing this plant outside. It does rain quite a lot in the UK. I need to make sure the drainage is imperative. A pot that provides drainage as well. And I've actually got this little terracotta pot to hand, which, as you can see, has seen better days. So that one could probably go outside. Because terracotta is a porous material as well, if there is a little bit of excess water, it just helps to absorb that so that they're not going to be completely overwhelmed. So yeah, ideally I would be adding lots of kind of grit and sand into the mix that I've got here, which is basically just a tiny bit of Soil Ninja's base mix with tree fern fibre and orchid bark. I think I actually mixed this up for a Hoya. Ooh, I have got a Hoya I would like to do things to actually. I'm going to do this first. But yeah, then I've just got some semi-hydro, which I think this little bag, I think I might have got it at a plant swap actually. So yeah, I'm just going to mix some of this through, and that can be the drainage for this plant. And as I say, I know some people do grow succulents in semi-hydro and just water them through normally. I know Emma was doing an experiment with this a little while ago, Good Growing, and she got on really well with it. And I think quite a lot of her succulents are still growing in this way. So in theory, it should work quite well. I'm going to put them a little bit shallower to start with, and then I can always, as time goes on, fill them higher. And I'm choosing to pot them all together. I was going to like separate them, but to be honest, they're quite small at the moment. There we go. They're absolutely adorable, and I really hope they do well outside. I'd really love to get some more, I say it all the time, but some more outdoor plants going on my balcony. I just feel like I don't, I mean, obviously now's not the time to be doing it because we've got the scaffolding and I can't technically use the balcony, but I just don't have the incentive to go out to the balcony as much as, I don't know, I feel like if I had a garden, I'd want to be out there more, but I've just got so content with doing things indoors with my plants at the moment. Maybe I'll feel differently at some point, who knows. But yes, as I say, I have got a Hoya as well that I would like to take a look at, so I'm going to bring that over and then we can check on the light and see how it's doing. Oh, I did actually just have a little feel of the light as I went past, and it doesn't feel too warm. No, I mean, it's only been 10 minutes maybe, 10 minutes-ish. But it doesn't feel as hot as the black ones do, usually. It's kind of like a different texture as well, so I'm wondering if maybe that helps. Also, I don't really know why I've brought this massive container across, because I think what might be going on here, this is my Hoya undulata red, by the way. I think what might be going on here could be root rot related, or something's going on in there. That being said, the plant is putting out some lovely growth, and I would like to get this one onto a trellis at some point soon. I don't have any trellises to hand because I'm actually whizzing through trellises at the moment. Again, like, I'm sure this is probably my latest hyperfixation, but I've gone from letting a lot of my Hoyas just kind of grow free to wanting to suddenly get them all on trellises, and I've just been on the whole getting like cheapy Amazon ones, which I've said it before, I don't like to promote as much as small business ones, but it has just been easier and quicker, so that's the way I've done it so far. But I've put, I think, about 6 Hoyas onto trellises in the last few weeks. But yeah, it'd be lovely to get this one going nicely. And you know what, I think, yeah, they smell fine. I think at the bottom there, that was probably just algae build-up. And that is the only thing when you grow a plant like this one, because this one's been in my south-facing window, when you grow a plant in a relatively high light spot in a translucent container, any water in there often does just turn very green. This is why a lot of the time people opt for like amber jars instead of transparent containers, and you can fix it yourself. You could literally, I mean, it's why people use pot covers and stuff like that a lot of the time, but you could just wrap some, like something around it. Typically algae, in my experience, doesn't negatively affect the growth of the plant. I've never found it to be particularly bad. Like, I don't usually change out my water propagations if they're getting a bit green. I mean, I do sometimes, but that's mainly aesthetic. But no, its roots look fantastic. I would just really like to pot it a little bit lower if I can, because previously it's come to about there and then this bit's been sticking out, but as you can see, it has got a decent root system here as well. So maybe this big one will be, you know what, I think that could work quite well. I'm thinking of doing the other thing that I'm a little bit obsessed with at the moment, doing obviously no drainage system, but with semi-hydro at the bottom and then a soil mix on top. When I say soil mix, again, I'm going to want something very, very well draining for this plant because it is a Hoya. I've grown this type of Hoya before as well, and I very sadly lost it when I think we're around about the time I first moved in here. But it feels like such a privilege to have been given a second chance with this plant. So I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm going to just go whack some more things in this bowl. And I reckon probably, again, orchid bark, tree fern fibre, and a little bit of soil along with what's already in there, I think will do the job. I'll show you it when I've done it. Fabulous. And then, yes, again, I've mixed up way too much. So this will run into other repots, I'm sure, but that is what it's currently looking like. And yeah, I'm just gonna give it a really, God, I love the smell. I love the smell of bark so much. Yeah, gonna give it a really good mix up and then transfer it. And the container that I'm using, actually, this one here, I found a load of these. I found a 6-pack on eBay. It's not glass, it's plastic, and ideally I would like to be using glass. I think, to be honest, I think unless you're using this over years and years and years, I don't think it would degrade too much. But yeah, I just really wanted to find some nice looking containers that are kind of like jars but didn't go in at the top, so I won't have to break them when I get them out in the future. So yeah, I'm not sure what other plants I'm going to transfer, because I have got so many of my plants into no drainage in some capacity recently. In fact, I would say that probably, let me think about this, none of my hanging plants are in no drainage. But apart from that, I want to say that maybe like 60% of my collection is now in a no drainage system of some sort, which is crazy because I was always so like set in my ways with how I did things with like letting my plants drain through. And don't get me wrong, I still do that. Like I was doing some plant care this morning, and as I was going around, I was using my washing up bowl and my watering can and all that sort of stuff. But I definitely find myself leaning more towards this way of growing, and it's just so easy doing things this way. And like, I think like you simplify where you can, especially like when me and Ross get a bigger place, I would love to continue to expand my collection, and I would love to continue to do things to a point where they feel manageable. And this, I just feel like ways like this and just pure semi-hydro growing just would allow me to be able to do that a little bit more. So the prospect of it is quite exciting. It almost feels like a bit of a cheat. And I know it's not, but yeah. I also think it looks really pretty. Like, I love looking at the roots of my plant, and there's something a little bit scientific about this. I think, you know, when, I don't know if any of you guys at school got given those tubes and you were able to build like sand at the bottom, and then there was another, like a water or something, and then oil on top, and it kind of formed different layers, and it looked really amazing. It's kind of a little bit like that. Yeah, as I say, it kind of feels like a weird science experiment, and I am here for that. And the good thing as well about the trellises that I've been using recently is that they're like a little bit bendy at the bottom, so I will absolutely be able to use one with this style of pot if I want to. Perfect. That just looks really cool. I just love that. But yeah, then I will just fill a little reservoir, exactly the same way as if I was just growing in pond, but a little bit lower. Like, I will never let my reservoir touch the soil. In fact, I'm right by the tap, so I'm going to do it and I'm going to show you. Also, I just want to stress, this is just my way of doing things. I'm not saying it's the right way, but I haven't had any issues doing it this way. So based on my personal experience, it is what I would recommend. So yeah, do you see? Not huge, but just a little bit of water at the bottom there, and that will just gradually feed up. And with this way of growing, if you do, obviously with a semi-hydro purely way of growing, it's not the end of the world if you do have a little bit too much water in there, because it will likely just be absorbed. With this, if you've got organic matter in there and you do overfill it, it makes your plant way more susceptible to things like root rot and fungal issues. But what I found works quite well is if you do just like put your hand over the top. It might be a little bit messy, so do it over a sink, but just kind of tip it out, and you can almost filter some of the water through and discard what you don't need. Yeah, I have been a little bit careless a few times and not got it right. But yeah, perfect. I'm going to pop this back in its position, and then let's check the light and make some decisions. Right, so as I say, the light is not, like, it's warm, but I'm holding it very comfortably in my hands and it's not like, it doesn't feel like it's going to burn. So what I will do as well is I will leave this on like for the rest of the day while I'm in the flat and keep it monitored, because I don't want, obviously, yeah, I don't want there to be any risk, but I'm fairly certain that it would have got to its full like lighting capacity by now. And I think I'm going to just take the base of this off actually, and it has got such a slick base. How cool is that? Oh, look, you can see yourselves as well. But yeah, it comes off really, really easily. And I'll probably just do something to adjust the wiring. But yeah, like I say, and this might be a bit of a weird way of doing things, but unless I want to set up something that is literally there the whole time, I don't really see another way I can do this. But I do think all of the plants in this area would benefit from a little bit more light. Oh, is that a thrip? Oh, I don't know what that was. That could have been a thrip, you know. I can see everything so clearly in this light. But yeah, I feel like that will just blend quite well, and it's almost just like it's not there, but it will offer obviously a lot of benefit to the plants that are there. So I think what the best thing to do is fix it down with command strips. And I know it's a bad thing to say, but I'm not particularly precious about this unit. This was secondhand when I first moved in anyway. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but all of the front of it, because I think it's got wet so many times from plants, has started to lift up. So this is very much for the plants now. And I think I am just going to command strip directly to it. And to be honest, they are pretty good. They don't tend to cause any harm at all. But in the event of someone being like, why are you ruining your unit? I'm not meaning to. But if it was to be a little bit damaged, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, these are the things I use. I will link them down below because I use them for all sorts of planty things. Honestly, they are an absolute lifesaver. You can literally stick propagation jars to the wall with them. I have done that many a time and they've stayed put for, I mean, the one I took off fairly recently, I've been there for almost 2 years. So yeah, they are fantastic. I'm trying to line this up. And then we can deal with wires afterwards. I could do this with a measuring tape, I know. That looks okay. I'm just going to stand back and take a look. That looks so slick. You barely even notice there's a grow light there. Oh my God, I absolutely love it. Okay, right. Let's secure it. No idea as well how well these are actually going to stick to the light, because I'll put a clip in of the texture of the light. You'll probably be able to see it's quite like ridged. I think that's part of the reason why it's not getting so hot, to be honest. But yeah, because it's quite, I can't think of a better word than ridged. I'm not sure how well it's going to stick. It just needs to be secured from Yoli's tail, basically. This is the sort of light that I would probably turn off if I was going to be leaving her here by herself for a bit, just in the event that it was to get knocked or something. I'm probably being overcautious there, but yeah. Right. Moment of truth. Do I do one in the middle? Oh, I think I should do one in the middle. Yeah. And also, do I want it like, I guess I want it tilted a bit up. No, nowhere near as much as that. Or that. I think that is the magic spot. Gonna say, I know that if you're like fixing this to the wall or something, Mother do have like things that you can securely slot it in without having to do this. I'm very much a makeshift kind of gal though, so yeah. Cool. I mean, that's not going anywhere. It's got a little wobble on it, but that could be whacked by a tail and that would be fine. Oh, amazing. Okay, I'm just going to do the wiring, get it looking nice, and then yeah. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I am so happy with that. Yeah, I love how it looks on camera as well. That looks so slick. Oh, it's so exciting having new grow lights.
One eternity later.
It's a dangerous thing when I stop the camera when I'm filming a video. I should just really go through and do everything as one long take and then edit it, because I always end up getting really distracted. But I've just had a little rearrange so that it's all plants down there now, and I think it looks lovely. I've got my begonia Sinbad there on the end, which I think is so pretty. I know I staked it recently. As you can see, I've unstaked it. I think it just works better. But yeah, I'm excited to play about with plants in that area and see what I can do now, because oh my goodness, I've got such good light in that spot now. I can introduce new plants that I wouldn't have been able to. My washing just blew off the balcony. We will deal with that in a moment. But yeah, wouldn't have been able to previously put there, which is really lovely. I really, really like how it's looking now. So that feels like an achievement. But you might be able to notice I've had a little bit of a rearrange in this area, and it's nothing significant. I basically just didn't want my Monstera dubia right in the middle anymore, because I was kind of optimizing light and trying to do things with that in mind, just to kind of make it all feel a little bit more open. And that being said, as you can probably see, there are lots of plants still crammed down here. And in fact, let me turn you around and I'll give you a little, like a very quick mini tour of this area, just so that you can see what's going on. As I say, my gimbal is not working, so I will try and hold the camera as steadily as I possibly can, but I do apologise if it's a little bit shaky. So yeah, this section here is a little bit cluttered, but as you know, I'm not using the door that much at the moment, so it's not the end of the world. I've already shown you the shelves here, which I'm just, as I say, I'm really, really happy. Oh, that was a loud noise. Hey baby, hello. I'm really happy with how everything on the shelves is growing at the moment on the whole. The light's not really working in our favour this afternoon because everything looks very burnt out. But coming over to this bit, Monstera dubia, big one here. As you guys know, I very sadly lost my shingling section of Monstera dubia recently. However, the big fenestrated section is doing magnificently. I am so proud of this plant. I am still air layering the top section to chop it. That is going to be such a difficult chop to make, but obviously it can't grow much bigger in the spot that it's in. And also the pots that I've got it in there, it looks like terracotta, and actually it's made from ocean plastic, just because I wanted to create a bigger reservoir, because I have got this one, as you can see, in semi-hydro. And if you go hunting for this company, I know they're based in Glastonbury, and I think all of their stuff is made from ocean plastic, recycled ocean plastic, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that one is doing well. And this one, I'm not going to take you through absolutely everything, but you've got me going now. This one is an Alocasia Bisma Silver, I believe, and I got very similar to this plant, what I got labelled as, I think, a Bisma Silver when I went to, why can I not remember the name of it? I'll put the name on the screen, really famous garden centre recently. And very sadly, if you're over on my Patreon, you'll know, but very sadly that one didn't make it. It rotted very quickly. So I found what I thought was the same plant on the Grow Tropicals website, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna get another. I wouldn't usually do that, but I loved it so much. And this one is growing amazingly. As you can see, it's got a new leaf coming in there, which is exciting. Again, it's a semi-hydro one. And then, yeah, got a little prop down there. That's the one I'm really excited about, the begonia that looks very similar, actually, to the begonia Sinbad. But it's very pink, as you can see. And then my big section of Hoya macrophylla just there. Insane pot now. Again, needs a trellis. And then all of the little cups you can see along here, all of those are variegated Alocasia frydeckorms. I harvested so many from my big mother plant recently, and yeah, I've just put them in sphagnum moss, covered them in cling film. Won't really need to check on them again for a while, I wouldn't have thought. And oh, this is exciting. This bottom section of my Philodendron Splendid is back. Look at that. Because I chopped the plant, as you can see, big chop made there. I chopped the plant a few months ago now, and I'm really, really glad I did. Again, I've got this beautiful bottom section. I've got a top section of it. You look at where my finger is just there, propagating over there. So I'm going to be able to get my lovely full plant back again soon, which is so good. And then this one, let's have a look at this one, because this is my Philodendron Majestic that I got onto the moss pole literally in my video last week. And look already, it's put out this big section of growth at the top, and that is going to be a fairly big leaf, I think. So I'm going to need to extend this again really quite soon. It's growing beautifully, so beautifully. But yeah, as I say, while I'm not using this area to walk through, I just wanted to kind of take advantage and keep moss poles and stuff like that here. But it does mean that I am pretty much in this area. I mean, I could probably squeeze another few small things in, but I'm pretty much out of space. But that being said, I'm really happy with how everything's doing. So yeah, it's all positive really at the moment. The other one that I haven't given you an update on in such a long time is my Anthurium magnificum. And I chopped this plant, again, I chopped this one right back to nothing. And it sizes up so quickly, and I'm really happy with how it's doing. So I don't quite know where I'm gonna keep this one yet. It's one of these plants in my flat that doesn't have a place. I've only got a few like that. Most of them have got very specific set places, but this one kind of travels because I haven't decided on a spot where it can get big and I won't have to just continuously move it. So yes. But although I feel like I've been filming for ages, but I haven't actually got through that much. I've had a really fun morning with you guys. I hope you have had a fun morning too if you've been doing stuff as well. I know this has been a very random video, but thank you for joining me for it because I've had a lot of fun. So yeah, if you have been doing stuff, as I say, hope you have had a productive one. And if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.
Stay sexy, plant lovers.